Welcome, little dreamers. Tonight's story is The Sleepy Dragon Snore, a gentle bedtime story about kindness, teamwork, and a snoring dragon. Deep in the middle of willow-whisk woods where wildflowers bloom like soft buttons and the trees hum lullabies in the wind, all was peaceful. Until one night, something rumbled louder than thunder. Snoring. The birds in the trees fluttered awake with a flurry of feathers. The beehives jiggled like jelly on toast, and Mrs. Hedgehog dropped her knitting needles with a squeak. "What was that?" gasped Lulu the ladybug, peeking out from under her mushroom leaf blanket. Her pink glasses were crooked from the shake. "It sounds like a storm," said Milo the mouse, who was halfway through a midnight snack of cheesy crackers. His ears twitched. "But there are no clouds." The sound rumbled again, deeper this time. Snins-ree. Tilly the turtle slowly lifted her head from inside her sunflower yellow shell. She blinked sleepily and mumbled, "That's no storm. That's a snore." The three friends stared at each other. "A snore?" Lulu gasped. Milo nodded. "I've heard it before. That's the snore of Drowsy the dragon." Now Drowsy lived in a big, cozy cave nestled between two mossy hills. The animals called it Naptime Cave because Drowsy liked naps more than anything else in the world. He was a sky blue dragon with soft silver scales, wings like fluffy clouds, and a golden nightcap that jingled every time he sighed. But while Drowsy was gentle and kind, his snoring was not. Whenever Drowsy fell into a deep, dreamy sleep, his snores were so powerful they knocked apples off trees, made the river splash sideways, and even once spun a squirrel's laundry off the line. That night, Drowsy had dozed off after sipping warm honey milk and listening to crickets sing lullabies. He yawned, curled into a sleepy swirl, and drifted off into dragon dreams of flying marshmallow clouds. And then, snore! The trees wobbled, the forest floor bounced. Even the moon seemed to shiver in the sky. Lulu flitted onto a twig. "If Drowsy keeps snoring like that," she said, "we'll never get a wink of sleep again." Milo, nibbling his cracker, nodded. "We need to help him sleep more quietly." "But how?" asked Tilly. The three friends looked toward the far hill where Naptime Cave glowed gently in the moonlight. Inside that cave was one big sleepy dragon and one very noisy snore. Lulu straightened her glasses. "Let's gather, everyone. We're going on a quiet mission to help Drowsy sleep without shaking the sky." And with that, the adventure began. The sun had set completely now, and a blanket of stars twinkled over willow-whisk woods. Most of the forest was trying to sleep, but not Lulu, the ladybug, Milo the mouse, or Tilly the turtle. They were wide awake and gathered near the old story stump, rubbing their eyes and whispering, "Snoring!" Another dragon-sized snore rolled through the trees like thunder wrapped in a yawn. A few sleepy birds flopped out of their nests. Lulu fluttered her wings and said, "Okay, team, we need a plan to help Drowsy sleep quieter." "But how do you quiet a snore that shakes the pine cones off the trees?" Milo asked, munching the last crumb of his cracker. Tilly scratched her chin thoughtfully. "Maybe Drowsy's just uncomfortable. I know I snore when my neck is squished." Lulu lit up. "Then we need a pillow." Milo's ears perked up. "A dragon-sized pillow?" "A soft one," said Tilly, already pulling fluff from a dandelion puff nearby. Big enough for Drowsy's giant sleepy head. So they got to work. Lulu flew through the forest, collecting feather down and cloud cotton from the highest trees. Milo gathered soft moss from under the willow roots, and Tilly, slow but clever, stitched it all together with vines as thread and a needle made from a thorn. The pillow grew fluffier and fluffier until it was as wide as a pond and smelled like wildflowers and clean air. "This is the softest pillow I've ever seen," Milo whispered, bouncing on it. "I almost want to sleep on it myself." "But how do we get it to Drowsy?" Lulu asked, looking up at the hill. Naptime Cave was a long walk away, especially with a pillow the size of a pumpkin patch. They tried rolling it. They tried floating it on a leaf raft. Milo even suggested tying it to a bird. That didn't work. Finally, Tilly said, "Let's all push together, nice and slow." So the three friends pushed and tugged the pillow, inch by inch, over mossy roots and moonlit trails. They sang a soft song as they worked, push and puff, slow and light, through the woods in gentle night. A pillow big, a dragon's bed, to help him rest his sleepy head. By the time they reached the edge of Naptime Cave, they were puffing and panting. Inside, Drowsy was curled up, his silver scales glowing like moonbeams. Every few seconds, his nose let out a soft whistle, followed by a mighty "Sanori." The cave shook a little. Pebbles bounced. Milo wobbled. Lulu took a deep breath. "Ready?" "Ready," said Tilly. Milo held out a wedge of cheese. "For luck." Very, very carefully, they tiptoed into the cave. The snoring got louder with every step. SNNNZ, Z's, 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 The wind from the snore blew Lulu's wings backward. But they didn't give up. Together, they slid the big, dreamy pillow under Drowsy's head and gently lifted it up, just enough to snuggle his chin into the fluff. The moment his head touched the pillow, he let out a soft sigh. The cave fell quiet. No more thunderous snore, just a tiny, whispery zzz, like a kitten purring. They held their breath. Then Drowsy mumbled in his sleep, "So comfy," and curled up tighter, like a blue balloon drifting in a breeze. The three friends smiled. They had done it. The forest was finally quiet. Birds were snoozing. Fireflies danced like tiny lanterns, and Drowsy the dragon, curled up on his giant new pillow, was snoring soft as a whisper snuffles. Zzz, zzz, zzz. But not everyone was feeling cozy. Far across the river, near the edge of Willow-Whisk Woods, a big fuzzy bear named Grumble was not happy. You see, Grumble the grizzly liked his peace and quiet. He lived in a tidy den made of logs and leaves, with a wooden bench he had been trying to build for weeks. Every morning, he hammered a few nails. Every evening, he sipped warm berry tea. But lately, boom, rattle, snore. Every time Grumble raised his hammer, a huge snore from the hills made his bench tip over. The wood cracked, his tools tumbled, and once he got bonked in the nose with his own hammer. "This is outrageous," he growled, fluffing his fur. "That dragon is louder than a stampede of skunks." Grumble stomped through the trees, muttering to himself, "I've had enough. I'm going to give that dragon a piece of my mind." His footsteps shook the ground as he trudged toward Naptime Cave. Meanwhile, Lulu the ladybug, Milo the mouse, and Tilly the turtle were enjoying a peaceful moment outside the cave, watching Drowsy's snoozing tail gently swish like a sleepy cat's. Then, stomp, stomp, stomp. The bushes rustled. A very large shadow loomed. Grumble had arrived. "Where is he?" the bear grumbled. "Where's that noise machine you call a dragon?" Lulu flitted forward nervously. "Shh, Drowsy's asleep now, on his new pillow. See, he's snoring much softer." Grumble blinked. The forest really was quieter. There were even butterflies floating past. Hmm, he snorted, crossing his big paws. Well, good, because if I lose one more nail or teacup, I'll. Would you like to sit on the pillow too? Milo asked, squeaking up beside him. It's super squishy. Grumble raised an eyebrow. I don't sit on dragon pillows. But then he saw Tilly carefully stitching a flower onto the corner of the pillow, and Lulu writing a lullaby in her notebook, and Milo nibbling on a piece of dragon-shaped cheese. They weren't angry or upset. They were just helping. Grumble's grumpy frown melted a little. I suppose, he mumbled, it is nice to help a friend sleep better, even if his snores make my whiskers twitch. Tilly looked up and smiled. Would you like us to help you build your bench tomorrow? Grumble blinked. No one had ever asked that before. Well, I wouldn't say no. Lulu zipped around in a happy circle. Then it's settled. Drowsy gets sleep, you get your bench, and we all get some peace and quiet. Grumble let out a deep, rumbly sigh. Not a grumbly one this time. Fine, he said, sitting down on a mossy log. But if he starts snoring like a thundercloud again, I'm moving to the next forest. Everyone giggled softly. Inside the cave, Drowsy let out a tiny, happy hiccup snore. Herm. Zzz. That night, under a sky filled with stars as bright as twinkle sprinkles, Drowsy the dragon drifted deeper into sleep than ever before. With his head resting gently on the fluffy new pillow and his tail curled like a sleepy cinnamon bun, he let out the tiniest, softest snore. Zzz. And then he began to dream. In his dream, Drowsy found himself flying through a sky made of whipped cream clouds and cotton candy winds. Sparkling stars giggled as they zoomed past, and moonbeams played tag with his wings. He wasn't heavy or sleepy. He felt light as a feather, as light as a ladybug's whisper. Below him was a magical land of soft hills and giggling trees, where jelly bean bushes and marshmallow flowers swayed in a breezy lullaby. Everything glowed with gentle light. Then, floating up from the clouds, came a voice, calm and kind. Drowsy, it whispered. He blinked and slowed his flying. Who's there? A glowing shape appeared, a shimmering, sleepy version of himself. It had brighter wings, glittery scales, and a glowing heart that pulsed like a firefly in a jar. I'm Dream Drowsy, the voice said, smiling. You've been snoring very loudly, dear friend. Drowsy looked down at his big claws shyly. I didn't mean to. I was just really comfy. I know, Dream Drowsy said kindly, but your snore shakes the forest. Your friends care about you and want you to rest without shaking squirrels out of their trees. Drowsy blinked his big dragon eyes. They made me a pillow and read me poems and even sang lullabies. That's because they love you. Drowsy looked around at the magical dream sky. I didn't know snoring could be a problem. It's okay, Dream Drowsy chuckled. That's what friends are for, to help us see things we can't always hear for ourselves. Drowsy flapped his wings gently and smiled. I want to sleep better, for me and for them. The glowing dragon twirled in the sky like a ribbon of light. Then listen to the rhythm of kindness. Feel the pillow under your chin. Let your heart hum instead of roar. Drowsy nodded. And just like that, the dream faded into sparkles. Back in Naptime Cave, Drowsy shifted his head a little and let out a tiny puff of breath that smelled faintly of warm cookies. Outside the cave, the forest was still and peaceful. Lulu the ladybug was curled up in a flower. Milo the mouse was wrapped in a napkin like a burrito. Tilly the turtle snoozed with her glasses sliding down her nose. Even Grumble the grizzly was snoring a tiny bit on his freshly finished bench. And Drowsy, he slept on, wrapped in dreams full of glowing skies, flying lullabies, and the love of friends who helped him find peace. Morning light was just starting to peek through the leaves of willow-whisk woods, painting the treetops with golden whispers. The dew sparkled like tiny diamonds. Birds stretched their wings and sang soft, waking songs. But over by Naptime Cave, everything was still. Drowsy the dragon had slept peacefully all night, his sky blue body curled on the soft dandelion pillow, his golden nightcap slightly tilted to one side. Lulu the ladybug tiptoed up to the cave with a scroll of bedtime poetry tucked in her satchel. She peeked in. Shh. No snore. Not a roar. Not a boom. Not even a hiccup sneeze. Just a gentle zzz, like wind brushing through feathers. Milo the mouse came tiptoeing behind her with a tray of fresh cheese biscuits. Is he still sleeping? Like a cloud, Lulu whispered. Tilly the turtle slowly arrived with a soft blanket made of stitched leaves. She smiled. Let's make sure it stays that way. The three friends quietly entered the cave. Drowsy shifted in his sleep and sighed happily. We need to keep him comfy, Lulu said, placing a tiny lavender flower near his snout. Milo nodded. And full, hungry dragons might snore louder. He gently tucked a crumbly cheese biscuit into a leaf wrap and placed it near Drowsy's claw. Tilly laid the leafy blanket over Drowsy's back, careful not to tickle his wings. He's much calmer now, she whispered. I think our pillow helped more than we know. They sat together for a while, listening to the soft hum of dragon breath and birds singing outside. Then suddenly, tap, 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 a heavy paw knocked on the side of the cave. It was Grumble the grizzly, carrying a basket of fresh berries and honey. Good morning, he grunted in a whisper. You're not grumpy today, Milo noticed. Grumble shrugged and stepped inside. I slept, that's all I needed. So now I brought breakfast for everyone, even the dragon. Drowsy stirred at the smell of berries and honey. One eye opened, sleepy and shiny like a moonstone. Good morning, he mumbled, blinking slowly. Lulu smiled. Did you sleep well, Drowsy? Drowsy sat up, stretching his wings gently. I dreamed of flying in a sky made of music. Grumble chuckled. You didn't shake the forest once. I didn't, Drowsy asked, wide-eyed. You snored like a baby owl in a sock, Milo said proudly. Drowsy's cheeks turned pink. That's the best compliment I've ever heard. He looked around at his friends, at the pillow under him, the blanket on his back, the treats by his claw, and the quiet smiles all around. You all helped me sleep better, he said. You didn't scold me or run away. You helped. That's what friends do, Tilly said. Lulu fluttered up and landed on his nose. Now we can all sleep soundly together. No more falling leaves or flying squirrels. Everyone laughed softly, and as the sun rose higher and warmed the woods, they sat in a circle, shared honeyberry biscuits, and planned to build a cozy corner in the woods where anyone could come to rest, snore, dream, or just be still. Drowsy the dragon smiled the biggest, sleepiest smile. Now that's a sleepy solution. The days that followed in Willow-Whisk Woods were the quietest and coziest anyone could remember. The sun rose softly each morning. Birds chirped sweet lullabies even in the daylight. And best of all, Drowsy the dragon's mighty snores had turned into peaceful purry hums. With his fluffy pillow, leafy blanket, and friends who cared deeply, Drowsy finally slept soundly, without rumbling the rocks or flipping the fish out of ponds. Grumble the grizzly finished building his wooden bench, with no nails popping out, and even added a little snore shelter beside it, just in case Drowsy ever needed a midday nap outdoors. He didn't grumble as much anymore. Instead, he smiled a little on Tuesdays. Lulu the ladybug used her pink glasses to write a new bedtime poem called The Snore That Got Softer. She read it each evening under the firefly tree, where forest friends gathered to hear stories and sip sleepy berry tea. Milo the mouse opened a snack stand next to the tree. He called it Milo's Midnight Munchies, and he always saved an extra cheese biscuit for Drowsy. Tilly the turtle taught young frogs how to sew their own tiny pillows, and always reminded them a soft heart is even more important than a soft bed. And Drowsy, he became the forest's official dream guardian. Every night he would curl into his pillow nest, his wings tucked just right, and hum a deep, sleepy tune that helped everyone else drift off peacefully. Even when he snored, it came out soft as a lullaby breeze. Hmm. Sometimes, little creatures would tiptoe into Naptime Cave just to nap beside him. There was always room for more. Drowsy would smile in his sleep and dream of flying through marshmallow skies. One evening, as the stars blinked awake and the moon smiled down on Willow-Whisk Woods, Lulu looked around the quiet clearing. She saw Grumble gently rocking on his bench. She saw Tilly reading by lantern light. She saw Milo handing out warm nut rolls. And she saw Drowsy, asleep of course, with a firefly curled up on his nose. Lulu whispered, "This is just right," the forest agreed. The leaves rustled like whispers, the river sang softly, and from the cave came the gentlest snore in the world. Shh. And so, the woods stayed peaceful, not because there were no problems, but because everyone worked together, listened with love, and learned that even the sleepiest dragon just needs a little care. Thanks for snuggling up with Drowsy the Dragon. Sweet dreams. Subscribe for more bedtime stories.